Hello and welcome back, or welcome to Creative Witchy Mama. Thank you so much for tuning on in here. My name is Sherry, and today I really want to talk about toddler, like transitioning from like baby to toddler, and like this middle stage that no one seems to talk about. So my son is 16 and a half months. He's 17 months in a couple of weeks. And I feel like people don't really talk about this point. Like they talk about baby, like, you know, the 0 to 1, and then they talk about like the twos, the terrible twos, and the three nanger. What I feel like isn't spoken too much about, and when I speak to other friends and other mums, this is such a real thing. Like this point of like when they really start getting the grasp of stuff, like, and what I mean is like, you know, they understand how things are working, they can communicate more, they like Harrison really now can just do things that, I mean, look, it amazes me every day. He's walking now and things like that, and but he can communicate a lot more. He gets frustrated if he can't do things. He plays with his toys differently. He's starting to get that, I suppose, that cognitive development about, you know, how things work, and also understanding routines a little bit more. And he sort of knows when you're saying certain things, and, you know, so, but these are all the great positive things about it, right? What I have also found is that he's become very clingy, very, very clingy, and like tantrums have started. Now, I am what I would say to be a crunchy mom. We live a pretty low tox life. Harrison's basically been, you know, screen free in the sense of, you know, no TV, doesn't sit and play or watch things on my phone, things, but we do FaceTime a lot. So all of my family are in the UK, and my partner too. And so we FaceTime a lot, like throughout the day, like in the morning and at night time. So obviously to marry up with the times in the UK. Anyway, he started really wanting to be like touch my phone, and I really dislike it. You know, the phone gives off awful EMF and, you know, all this, and I don't want him touching it. I don't want him getting used to it, but it's really hard. So he, you know, cracks it at me. He screams, he throws himself on the floor. He started headbutting the floor. And I shouldn't laugh because, you know, obviously it's not funny. We've got tiles all throughout the house, so it's not funny. But, you know, he'll lose the plot over really silly things, over really funny things. And since I've started talking about this with other mums, I've also seen lots of videos and stuff about this, but it's almost like this unspoken realm, I feel. I don't know. I've never really heard a lot of mums talking about this like transition phase from like that baby into like where they're learning so many things. You know, they're eating lots of different foods, they're walking, they're communicating, they're doing all these things. And then they turn to 2, right? But there's this whole, let's say 12 months in between where I feel like that really starts to happen. I've got nothing to compare it to. I've only had lots of chats with other mums and also seen it with, you know, my own family members, you know, my own nieces, nephews and things like that. These like different phases, but I've never really tuned into this like interim stage. So has anybody else like found this? Is this normal? Because yeah, I mean, Harrison is definitely going through this like separation anxiety as well. Like, you know, he just wants to be glued to me a lot of the time, which, you know, I guess as a solo mom, he only knows me, right? So there's nobody else for him to go to. So of course I am his everything. I'm his world. He's my world. But sometimes that's really hard. Sometimes that's really hard as a mum, because, you know, I never really understood the, oh, I'm so touched out, saying that lots of mums do say. I now understand this because there's some days where I'm just like, I can't be hugged or cuddled anymore. Like it gets so much. And it's not that you don't want to, I absolutely love the cuddles. I love it so much. But there just gets to a point where it's just like, I can't do anything in the house. I can't do anything without him wanting to be attached to me. And that makes each task super, super difficult. And, I've tried, redirecting him. I've tried getting him involved with lots of things as well. Like, I have like a little steps. So he's up at the counter. So if I'm in the kitchen, he can help bake with mummy. He can help do things with mum and all these things. And then, we go down, we play, and then I'll leave him playing as well. So we'll play together for a bit and then I'll leave him playing. But then 2 minutes later, he's straight back at my side. He wants to be up on me. And it takes its toll a lot. And I feel like there's like two sides to this like in-between phase. And maybe I'm wrong because I haven't got to the next phase yet. But there's this like beautiful, loving and, attachment side. But then there's also that like this frustration because they are learning so many things that the brain is like fully overloaded. The body, the brain, the senses, everything is like fully overloaded. But I think that's where all these tantrums come in. But no one really prepares you for this as a mum. People laugh about it and joke about it. But I'm finding it some days is so difficult because it's just me. And I don't want you to think that this is like me whinging about being a solo mum because it's not. I love my job as a mum, honestly, I do. And I wouldn't have it any other way. But I do think the struggle is real too. I don't think it's just a solo mum thing. I think it's for all mums out there, perhaps all parents, I'm not sure. But yeah, there's this like transition that we're going through at the moment, which is, it definitely has its ups and downs. The upsides are I get to see Harrison develop so much and it is so beautiful. Like I just look at him sometimes and I burst into tears because I'm just so proud of him. I'm so proud of the little boy he is. I'm so proud of all the things that he's learning. Look, I'm starting to like get choked up now because he's just learning all these amazing things and like taking everything in and just the wonder that he sees, the things that excite him. It's just so beautiful. But then there's this other side where like, he turns into this like little monster, like a clingy monster, and he yells and he screams and he's headbutting things and he pulls at me. And, those boy mums out there will get it, right? Being like attacked constantly. I think I have fingers up my nose so many times a day and my hair gets pulled, hence why it stays up most of the time. It's crazy. But this interim phase is an interesting one and I don't think it's spoken about enough. So mums out there, talk about this interim stage and talk about all the different phases of your baby. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just me and the few other people that I've spoken to this about. But I really do feel like there's this like between stage from 1 to 2 that no one talks about. They talk about these terrible 2s and then they talk about the 3-nager, and then all these other little stages, but there just seems to be this one that's missing that no one is focused on. I am, because I'm in it. I'm in the thick of it. And also being pregnant, it amplifies everything because I'm exhausted. I feel like, death sometimes. But anyway, that is my little rant over. I just wanted to put a bit of a highlight on this little transition phase between 1 and 2, where our little beautiful babies are learning so much. And how can we cope as mums? How do I cope? I just talk about it. I talk about it to friends, family, as much as I can. Sometimes I cry into my pillow. Sometimes I scream into my pillow. And I try not to lose it around Harrison. It's not always, it's not always a perfect scenario because sometimes it is just frustrating. But I try and do all the right things and, where possible. But I think as mums are just doing a wonderful job. So hats off to all the mamas out there and that are going through this little 1 to 2 with their toddler, going through all these little phases. So until next time, thank you so much. If you haven't yet subscribed, I'd be truly, truly grateful. If you're interested in this content, please come on back and see me for another video soon. Bye.